that he gave us his son. Whosoever believeth in 79 it all be gone. He came to renew our minds and to set us free. Now we're here to thank him for the victory. We're here to proclaim the name. Salvation's in the name. The only reason we came. The Bible says salvation is in one name. Yahweh ben Yahweh is the name you better claim. If you want to be free from your mental slavery, come to Yahweh ben Yahweh to be free from captivity. Hey! To proclaim the name Yahweh ben Yahweh. He's the only reason we came. Serving Yahweh ben Yahweh, decisions been made. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Yahweh ben Yahweh is the only God who passes every test. Proclaim, who's the Savior of the world? Salvation's in the name. The only reason we can. Gonna call his name. Who brings salvation to every nation? Yahweh, Yahweh. Who's the Prince of Peace? Who will cause war to cease? Yahweh, Yahweh. Who brought the revelation and made this nation? Coming back real soon, coming from the upper room. Yahweh, Yahweh ben Yahweh we call. Your holy name. Salvation's in the name, yeah. The name. Demons tremble when they hear the name. Yahweh, ben Yahweh. Salvation is in the holy name. We call your name. We were born to proclaim the name. The name. The only reason we came. To call the name. Yahweh ben Yahweh.
The Nation of Yahweh presents The Unfolding Light. Today's call is brought to you by Builders of the Highway Foundation, Yahweh Education Center, Temple of Brothers and Sisters of Goodwill, and the University of Yahweh Neo Jazz School of Music. And now for your host, Dr. Lud Yisrael.
Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to the Nation of Yahweh's weekly teleconference, The Unfolding Light. I am your host, Dr. Lud, along with my co-host and queen and all-around good sister Tamar, Boker Tov, sister.
Boker Tov, Shabbat Shalom, family.
Well, it is a great blessing to perceive the works of Yahweh this day, when he destroys the devil, destroy wickedness, It's time, the time that has been prophesied for 6,000 years is upon us. The end of wickedness on this planet. Praise Yahweh. And it is glorious to be able to watch and see the works of Yahweh. And all we have to do is be righteous and turn our minds to Yahweh. That's it. We don't have to fight them. We don't have to pick up guns and fire bullets. That's glorious. We just have to be righteous. Today on Unfolding Light, we'll have Who is Yahweh by the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And directly after that, we'll have a keynote message from the master teacher, the founder of the nation of Yahweh, the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And directly after that, we'll have the part where we all take part in unfolding the light, and we call it Power Talk. And now I invite you all to stand and face the east with outstretched hands as we open up this episode with a prayer to our Heavenly Father Yahweh. O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from this heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praises. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Yisrael forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright. And as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Malkuterka, Yadze Rizonka, King Bashemayim, King Ba'aretz, Elekem Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayam, Uslat Lanu, Kartienu, Kimosasoakim, Gamanatnu, Lakotiam Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayem, King Kal Senu, Minhara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamim Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And now, who is Yahweh? By the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is a name that you should know, because it's the duty of the Son of God to proclaim his Father's name. And here you have a whole bunch of people going to church, 400,000 churches, and they don't know the name of the Father. They say such silly things like, Father, God, help me. Both of them titles. Father is a title, God is a title. Who's going to answer to that? The purpose of the coming of the Son is to reveal the name of the Father. That's who he prayed to, our Father, and he called his name. He said, hallowed be, holy be thy name. How can it be holy to you and you don't know it? Interesting, isn't it? There are a lot more interesting questions than that about that situation. But when you begin to read your Bible, as I call this to your attention, you will discover from the Old Testament of Genesis all the way through Revelations, it's all about the name of the Father. It's all about his name. But somebody got you calling some other kind of name, other than the Father's name. And you don't know his name. And unless you learn his name, then you're never going to move from poverty to riches. And if you don't come into the knowledge of his name. Haven't you ever wondered why it is that you have the same God, have the same churches, and the same names that white people have? I mean, have you noticed? You do. Our people have the same, right? Isn't it strange how God always answers white people's prayers? And black folks' prayers don't seem to be the same magnitude. You know, you say, well, I get my prayers answered. Well, why don't you ever get answered to be the ruler? I mean, you know, my people are always on their knees in front of white people asking white people to let them be accepted. Why do you need to ask white people for acceptance? Why don't you just ask God? Doesn't your God have enough power to make you accepted? Why can't you be the people that everybody else wants to be among? Why are you always running after somebody else to be among them? What's wrong with your God? Why do you have to go around always on your knees with your hat in your hand begging for a job from white people? Why don't your God just give you some jobs? Oh, I have to ask you some serious questions because white people move from poverty to riches every day. Huh? They come from Russia. They come from Europe. They come from England. They come from all over the world with nothing on the ship. Come and get in your neighborhood. Come with a buggy and a basket and a wagon and push it around in your neighborhood and move from poverty to riches out of your pockets. You live in the neighborhood and stay poor and just pray all the time. You prayed enough to rule all the world. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is the God of the Bible. He's the God of the Hebrews. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. Yahweh is the man that beat up on Pharaoh. Y'all remember how he put plagues in Egypt? That was Yahweh did that. Yahweh is the one that when Pharaoh got real sassy, he drowned him in the Red Sea. That's Yahweh who did it. Yahweh is the man that when Daniel refused to bow down to another nation and quit facing the east and praying, when he refused to stop praying to his God, which was Yahweh, they said, well, we're going to put you in the lion's den and starve them. Threw him in the lion's den. Yahweh locked the jaws of the lion. Lions could do him no harm. Rulers got scared. Came and got Daniel out and made him a ruler. Right? I just want you to know who Yahweh is. He made the sun, the moon, the stars, all what you see and haven't seen. Okay. So who is Yahweh ben Yahweh? I am his son. I am his son. That's who I am. I am the son of Yahweh. I don't care who else is the son or who else else. It makes me no difference. I'm not here tonight concerning myself with who is the son of who. I'm the son of Yahweh. I have to tell you who I am. Yahweh is my father. I am his son. What makes me his son? What makes me Yahweh's son is I do not have a will outside of his. I have no thoughts, no ideas, and no program outside of Yahweh. You'll find that all that I ever do, all that I've ever done, and all that I'm ever going to do is found right in the Bible, and it's traced right to his will. No exception. I take no credit for all that I have built. It's all in his name. Yahweh. That's one of the things that make me his son. Also, I have no difference in his word. I only speak his words. Even the words I've spoken to you thus far, the principles of those words are all in the Bible. Every single one of them is found in the Bible. No exceptions. So I walk as he says walk. I talk as he says talk. I act as he says act. I do whatever he says do. I have no idea of doing it any other way. Those are the things that makes me his son. I obey his laws, his statutes, his judgments, his commandments. That's why I'm successful. He said in his holy word that if I obey his laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments, that he would make everything, all the works of my hand would prosper. So all the works of my hands, it's prospering. I'm telling you why. Now, what about you? You might say, well, if you're the son of Yahweh, can I be? Of course you can. Of course you can be the sons of Yahweh. Every one of you can be. Every one of you can be the daughters of Yahweh. All you have to do is like I do. Obey his will, just like I do. You automatically become. You believe on his name, then you have eternal life. There's no other name under heaven that you can be saved in other than God who created it. You can't be saved in no name but the name of the one who created everything. And he gave his son a name higher than all the angels in heaven. What's the name higher than all the names that the angels could possibly have? The Father's name. There can be no name higher than the Creator's. So the Son has to come in his Father's name. Just like if your name is Davis, then your father was named Davis. If your name is Smith, your father's name was Smith. My name is Yahweh, so my father's name is Yahweh. That's logical.
Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before. And until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. I certainly like to thank the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh for coming to us and teaching us who is Yahweh and reconnecting us, resurrecting us, redeeming us back to our God, Yahweh, which proves that he is the Son of Yahweh. Even in his name, Yahweh ben Yahweh, Yahweh, Son of Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. And now a brief bio on the master teacher, the founder of the nation of Yahweh, the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yahweh ben Yahweh came to Miami, Florida alone in 1979 to become the spiritual leader and founder of the nation of Yahweh. Although he took a vow of poverty that same year, within 7 years, he guided the nation and those who followed his teachings and principles to amass an economic empire in the greater Miami area and throughout the United States worth over $250 million. Under his direction, the nation of Yahweh has grown to encompass disciples, followers, believers, and supporters in thousands of cities across the United States of America and indeed throughout the four corners of the earth. The University of Yahweh, for which he has established the curriculum and for which he has received great acclaim in educational excellence, currently has locations across the United States. The moral teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh is bringing about a change in the lives of individuals and causing them to take a different approach to life. This approach is based on the scripture which reads, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Yahweh ben Yahweh continues to give. That which he is given cannot be measured in monetary wealth. Yahweh ben Yahweh is giving the world the keys to success in life politically, educationally, economically, socially, and spiritually. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, the architect of the universe, the blessed and only potentate, the founder of the nation of Yahweh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Remember that this is the morning of the third day, and I shall rise again. I am the resurrection. All of prophecy tells you that I shall rise again. It's all about that. Luke chapter 2, verse 34. No doubt about it. Again, I will love you forever, bless you forever. I remind you once again, my associates are children of the light. That just brings laughter to my heart, to my soul, to realize that at last I have those of you that love peace. And I only want to be in the presence of those of you that love peace. I love you forever. Shalom Aleichem.
Let's turn to Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 15, 16, and 17. Read.
7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord Yahweh thy God, in the place which the Lord Yahweh thy God shall choose. Because the Lord Yahweh thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord Yahweh thy God, in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord Yahweh empty. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord Yahweh thy God, which he hath given thee.
Directions are clear. When you come to the knowledge of Yahweh and that Yahweh is your God, then you obey the will of your God. And in obeying the will of your God, you will follow these prescriptions and surely rejoice. And as you keep the laws of Yahweh, you are blessed above all people on the earth, because that's his decree. And the blessings of the Lord Yahweh are designed to make you rich. Proverbs 10:22. Read.
The blessing of the Lord Yahweh, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it.
This is the way of Yahweh. To make you rich is his desire. And we who have submitted to the will of Yahweh, that's exactly what he's doing. He's making us rich without apology and no sorrow with it. He puts a difficulty in our face, and then Yahweh moves the difficulty. Yahweh puts a problem in our face, and it seems very difficult. Then he solves the problem. Yahweh makes our way difficult, and then Yahweh eases the difficulty. Yahweh puts an obstacle in front of us, and it seems like surely this is the end. And then Yahweh makes a way out of no way. So it's a blessing to know the will of Yahweh. It's a greater blessing to carry out that will. So the entire world must pay tribute to Yahweh for his unselfish and eleemosynary donations to all men. For Yahweh is the giver of life. And unless all men come and worship the King of Israel, they're not going to be blessed. Zechariah 14. Zechariah chapter 14. And if you don't come and worship the King of Israel, you'll starve to death and die from much sickness. Starting at verse 16 and 17 and 18, read.
And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord Yahweh ben Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord Yahweh ben Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh ben Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Read verse 19 so you'll understand why. Read.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
So I don't care whether you're a Hindu or Buddhist, a Muslim or Christian or whatever you say you are, you're going to have to bow to the King of Israel. You're going to have to bow to Yahweh of hosts. That's it. That's just the way it is. And I happen to be the King of Israel. And that's the way that is. Praise Yahweh. Some real slick reporters, they came and they interviewed me and they wanted to know, well, you're going back to Israel? I said, not anytime soon. Well, you know, they're fighting over there. They may not want you to come in. I'm not worried about that. See, that's not the problem. I don't mind who wants to fight over Old Jerusalem. I'm not concerned who wants to die over Old Jerusalem. I'm not about that. I'm not about Old Jerusalem. Let me tell you the one that I'm establishing. It's called New Jerusalem. That's what I'm bringing, New Jerusalem. And guess where New Jerusalem is? In the Middle East? No. It won't be new unless I go to the Middle East. New Jerusalem is wherever I choose to place my name. And I choose to place my name in America. Oh, glory. I'll just clean up the farm here. I don't worry about the desert. I've been through the desert 40 years one time. That was enough for me. In the days of Moses. You don't want to see a desert. Desert is rough, boy. Have y'all just seen a picture of a desert? That's desolate. You think God is dumb enough to go set up camp on the desert? I wouldn't want to hang out with no God and say, I just hang on the desert. Not me, not no desert God. No. I'd rather come to rulership in New Jerusalem where there's already pavements and highways and just need some redoing. It's all about New Jerusalem and where I choose to place my name. I said the entire world must pay tribute to Yahweh. Did I just prove my case? That's what Feast of Tabernacles, and it lists Feast of Tabernacles. Isn't that beautiful? And all who don't come and worship the King of Israel, they'll get too much rain where they don't need it. And no rain where they need it. Right here in America. And now there'll always be plenty of food where I am. The righteous will never forsaken, nor will the seed of the righteous ever have to bake bread. Yahweh is the Eleemosynary God. He's the good God. He's the giving God. That's what I am. And in conclusion, the Feast of Tabernacles possesses both a seasonal significance and a historical significance, and carries both a universal meaning and a particular meaning for all the people of the earth. Isn't that amazing that Yahweh designed Feast of Tabernacles for his children to keep forever, while at the same time it's designed to bless all the families of the earth, all the nations of the earth. Isn't that interesting? That eliminates all other nations from being jealous of us being chosen by Yahweh.
Yahweh, because of you I exist.
Praise Yahweh. And I like to thank the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh for this message, for accepting that mission to come to us in the flesh as the Son and teach us Yahweh's message. This message is so deep. There is a lot for us to discuss in Power Talk. And we will be getting to Power Talk in a few minutes. But first, we have a word from our sponsors and a word from our illustrious Sister Tamar with what's going on in our nation. Praise Yahweh.
One, two, ready, go.
The Neo Jazz Collective, it's a way for young people to have an opportunity to show their creativity, exhibit their talents, and then perform in spaces that are moral, ethical, and learn how to turn their music into a business. We also offer programs where they learn how to protect their intellectual property when they create music and how to monetize their performances.
Was it fun?
I'm gonna start practicing and learning my new things.
But my head was made strong. Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, 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 Ben Yahweh is King.
YahwehRadio.com.
is Yahweh, Ben Yahweh. Yahweh, Ben Yahweh. His
YahwehRadio.com.
That keeps his mind stayed on Yahweh shall have perfect peace.
YahwehRadio.com.
Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, please remember us.
YahwehRadio.com.
Men might say, I'm gonna love Yahweh anyway. My heart is fixed and my mind's made up, and I won't turn back.
Yahweh YahwehRadio.com.
Hey, shalom and blessing, y'all. This is Author Jeremiah Israel coming to you live. Listen, I'm so excited because my ebook version of The Spiritual Significance of a Name is now available. You can go to my website today at www.jeremiahisrael.com. Now, this ebook is pretty much available anywhere and everywhere that ebook is sold. I'm so excited about that because, see, ebooks are sold internationally, but I would like for you to go to my website at www.jeremiahisrael.com, pick up your copy, or you can go ahead and download the ebook version of it. Whether you're on a plane, whether you're traveling, whatever you're doing, pick up this copy. It's only $4.99. It's not going to break your pockets and not going, break the bank. So go ahead and get the copy of this ebook now, today, $4.99. Go to jeremiahisrael.com and truly become blessed, because it will truly put you on a path to defining your true purpose. Until next time, peace and prosperity.
Well, praise Yahweh. The Nation of Yahweh and Yahweh Education Center invites our family in the Orlando area to visit Yahweh Education Center, conveniently located at 750 South Orange Blossom Trail, Suite 26, Orlando, Florida. We also invite you to join us today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our youth edition of Live Talk. I hope you're ready. Today we have Brother Yirmiyahu, Prince Yirmiyahu, hosting our youth edition of Live Talk. And to join us, you can join us on YouTube at Live Talk Orlando. Again, that's Live Talk Orlando on YouTube. The Nation of Yahweh and Builders of the Highway Foundation invites our family in the Miami area to visit Yahweh Education Center, conveniently located at 1065 Northwest 108th Street, Miami, Florida. Stay tuned for announcements about our Shabbat classes, fellowships, and fundraising activities at the Miami Yahweh Education Center. Again, conveniently located at 1065 Northwest 108th Street, Miami, Florida. We are also pleased to announce that the Neo Jazz School of Music Miami is also taking lessons and applications. So we'll be making announcements about how to participate in lessons at the Neo Jazz School of Music Miami. Virtual lessons are in effect. So we will be making more announcements about that, how to participate. The Nation of Yahweh and Builders of the Highway Foundation invites our family in Riviera Beach to join us for a study class every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in attending this class, please reach out to our family in the Riviera Beach, Florida area at area code 561-719-9527. That's 561-719-9527.
Well, praise Yahweh family. I hope you're ready for your health seminars this weekend. We invite you to join us every Saturday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, and 9 a.m. Pacific. Please join us on Saturday for Being and Becoming Healthy, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the prescription for eternal life. Now the dial-in number is area code 732-434-3669. That's 732-434-3669. Then join us again on Sunday for Being and Becoming Clean, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the prescription for eternal life. And the dial-in number for that teleconference is area code 339-207-6011. That's 339-207-6011. The Neo Jazz School of Music is excited to announce the development of the property located at 1701 St. Anthony Street in New Orleans into the Yahweh Life Center. Development is ongoing and continuing. We have expanded to include our broadcast studios, and we currently house the Yahweh Radio here where we're broadcasting from this morning. Your support of YahwehRadio.com has made this a reality, and we invite you and encourage you to continue to support Yahweh Radio. Also, you can donate directly to this work at the Neo Jazz School of Music's website. That's neojazz.org. And we are also excited for programs and online lessons for the Neo Jazz School of Music, both New Orleans and Miami. So stay tuned for more announcements on how to participate. And the Nation of Yahweh Publishing has been on the move for quite some time. We have recently supported the release of The Spiritual Significance of a Name by Brother Yirmiyahu. And we have, of course, many great works by our Father Yahweh Ben Yahweh, in particular, How to Overcome the World in Our True History, the World's Best Kept Secret, Needed Tools for Today. And we also want to uplift How to Study the Bible 2.0, which is a great read for anyone who is on their journey on studying and releasing this knowledge. So we do invite you to visit thenationofyahweh.com. That's thenationofyhwh.com. And please support those efforts. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. And look for more exciting things to come, both online and in person, because Yahweh is truly on the move. Praise Yahweh. Thank you, Sister Tamar. Thank Yahweh for all of the things and the people, his children that are making things happen and moving and shaking, because, it's truly that day. And this is what this message is about. See, Judah has to get our house in order. And Yahweh, our God, sent forth his son to instruct us and teach us exactly how to get our house in order. If you remember, if you take note of the message today, we're talking about tabernacles, but we're also talking about the duties and responsibilities of all nations, right? So, right now, Satan has the fear mongering going on to have certain people believing or thinking, well, when all of these governments collapse, what's going to happen to us? What's going to happen? And they don't understand that Yahweh has a perfect moral society already developed. And that perfect moral society is in people all over the planet. They're moral. Yahweh has made them moral and ethical people. but they will have to come up to the house of Judah, to the Feast of Tabernacles, to learn of Yahweh and the source of their morality, the source of their ethics, and put on the right track to Yahweh's laws, statute, judgments, and commandments, as opposed to their own particular country's laws. And you know, the laws of different governments are not the laws of Yahweh. And we know that today, this day, if you are wicked, you're in trouble with Yahweh. Yahweh got that on lock. But as for us, it is a blessing to know the will of Yahweh, to see the will of Yahweh in action. But it's a much bigger blessing to carry out the will of Yahweh. And so it gets to the point of us availing ourselves of this information and carrying out this will by putting it into action. We not only have to study to show ourselves approved, we have to be a doer of the word and not a hearer only. The first scripture that the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh gave us today was Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 14 through 16. But we just start out with, I'm just paraphrasing, that we should rejoice in our feast. Our sons, our daughters, our servants, our employees, you know, the stranger that's around us, everybody should rejoice in our feast. You know, 7 days we keep this feast, and the 8th day is a holy convocation. So now this is the Feast of Tabernacles, and it is according to Yahweh's law. And also, as we go along, we understand that it is Yahweh's great pleasure and his desire to make us rich. That's Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22, 10 verse 22, when it says, the blessings of Yahweh, it maketh rich, and he has no sorrow with it. And we all can make reference to all these people who are mega rich and they have nothing but sorrow. So money don't solve your sorrow problem. If you can't be happy without money, you can't be happy with money. Okay, so that's not going to, but Yahweh maketh you rich and he has no sorrow. So that's a special kind of rich. It goes beyond money. And it is his desire to make us rich. But there's something we have to do for that, to get rich. And it's not, work a job or work a career or, be a capitalist or anything of that nature. We have to be moral. We have to be righteous. We have to be charitable. And there's a whole lot of different things that Yahweh ben Yahweh teaches us that we have to be in accord to the will of Yahweh. But it's about being in accord to the will of Yahweh.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate how Yahweh ben Yahweh offered that this is a prescribed way. He prescribed this. And so to me, this is a prescription indicates something needed for your healing, for your necessary, for your recovery process. So when we have these prescribed laws, statute, judgments, and commandments, they are aligned with our recovery. When we align ourselves and become in practice with it, and not in practice with things that are happening that are prescribed by man. Right. We have a lot of things that we observe now that are prescribed by man, but yet many people across the planet don't come up and make an offering unto Yahweh during the Feast of Tabernacles. And we see here in today's message that all nations must come up to Yahweh and make an offering during the Feast of Tabernacles. But yet we see people across the planet observe and prescribe to the today in particular, which is a quote unquote national holiday, but they talk about this day across the planet, Christmas. And so here we are, we hear the creator of all things offering a prescription necessary for our healing, for our recovery. But yet people are more in attune and alignment with something that is that's actually catered towards your destruction.
Right. And it's upholding ancient paganistic rituals that are diametrically opposed to the creator, but that's not the subject. In Zechariah, in the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 16, it says, and it shall come to pass. That means it shall come to pass. It didn't say it might come to pass. It said it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh, Yahweh of hosts, and to keep his feast of tabernacles. Now, that's a powerful statement. So all of the nations that came against us, and we know all nations conspired and was confederate against us. Even those nations, all that are left after Yahweh continues his destruction upon this planet of the wicked, of those who choose you this day to go with Satan as opposed to Yahweh, all those people will be destroyed. And those that are left that didn't choose that, even they should come to the Feast of Tabernacles. So now we see in a divine formula. Now, the house of Judah got to get it together because Yahweh came to us and resurrected us. Now, are we truly resurrected, or we were just here for the party? Yahweh is number one. Everybody wants to be with the winner. That's just like when your favorite football team is scrubs, you don't say much, but when they start winning, you all for them. So that's just the nature of people to want to be with the winner. Well, the winner is Yahweh. His son, Yahweh ben Yahweh, demonstrated his superiority, his number oneness, and everybody wanted to be with him. Other nations supported him. He had followers all over the world. But there's different levels. There's followers, there's supporters, there's true believers, and there are disciples. It's a whole nother subject. That's a deep subject for another time. But the point is, which ones of us are true believers in his word and doers of his word? Because we can support and continue doing all the wickedness of the world and support it. As like people, they go in the store on Christmas and they give a dime, a drop of some change into the Salvation Army, the dude ringing the bell, the bell ringers, they call them. You support that. You can care less about what they're doing with the money. You don't care. You don't really investigate. It ain't a thing. You just throw some money in there because they're ringing a bell, right? It's like a dog conditioned to do something. Bing, 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 throw money in the bell. Well, this is what these hollow days and this stuff, these empty rituals get you. It gets you broke. But Yahweh say the blessings of Yahweh maketh you rich. So if something getting you broke,
is not in alignment with the prescription that Yahweh has given us. And that's the conversation that we're having. Yahweh has given us a prescribed set of high holy days.
Holy days, the Feast of Tabernacles being one of them.
He started it out with, and it's beautiful that our messages have lined up for us to really be in conversation around the implications of keeping the high holy days
Mhm.
as opposed to keeping these
Low
low
hollow days.
Yes, sir. So it's just, I thank Yahweh for giving us this space to really set ourselves aside
Well,
from what's going on in the world and being in worship of Yahweh today.
Right. And so it was thought about our plight. You know, we were made the making of the Negro or the making of the nigger, right? We was made into the term nigger. We was made into that embodiment of that term. That's why I guess we took it and embraced it. But, you know, all races on the planet was called nigger before us. That's a fact. You can look in the etymology of the word, and you can understand that this is not something that was invented for us or we invented for us. You know, it was well before. But let's get into that word for a second. That word nigger or Negro is a play on words because it actually depicts the scientific word necros or necrosis. Necrosis is brain dead. So when a person is brain dead, society called them Negro or Negras or Nigras or niggas. That was the brain dead people. People who didn't know what was going on, didn't know the time, the signs of the time. People who were negative, people who did things that was against their own betterment, you know, sabotage their own growth. And, you know, we can go on about the negativity of that. Well, the first book that Yahweh ben Yahweh introduced to us is that you are not a nigger. And then he went on to teach us who we are. We are the house of Judah. We are that high race of people that Yahweh chose, Deuteronomy Chapter 7, verse 6, above all nations on the planet. That's who we are. We will reconcile back to that information of our true holiness and our true connection to the Most High, Yahweh. Mm-hmm. But we have been made into niggas. Mm. And they got us to embrace that until this day. Nobody else can call us niggas, but we call ourselves niggas in general conversation. That is what we have to turn away from. All of these negative things, that slavery, that our bondage, that the world conspired against us. They came against us. All nations came against us that we would never remember our name, Israel. And we wouldn't know who our God is. And we would never return into being a sovereign nation. But even those nations, the people that Yahweh spared in this purge of wickedness off our planet, they gonna come up and worship at our Feast of Tabernacles. See the irony about Yahweh, how Yahweh flips things upside down. See, the earth was paradise in the beginning. When Yahweh created the earth, he created it as paradise, Eden. It was a garden. And he gave a commandment to man, to dress and to keep the garden of Eden. He also kicked us out for being disobedient. And he came here in the flesh to lead us back into that garden once again. But it's still work that we have to dress and keep the garden. The garden is earth, and it's time for us to clean it up. Yahweh is doing the destruction just like he did in the days of Noah. Remember in the days of Noah? You remember the days of Noah, where people were eating and sleeping, marrying and giving in marriage until Noah entered the ark and the flood came and washed them all away. Well, the prophecy says, so shall it be the coming of the Son of Man, Yahweh ben Yahweh. And that's what we see the people doing. Now, are we going to do that?
Well, those of us who follow that prescription will be guided to the healing that we speak of. And it just brings me to another scripture, because the healing is us returning the planet back to its state.
Right. Keeping those laws.
Keeping those, this returning to the law, statute, judgments, and commandments of Yahweh is us being restored back, and the planet being restored back. And that brings me to Revelations chapter 22, verse 2. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, there was the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And so understanding that this tree, this information that Yahweh has been providing us is this tree of Yahweh. Yahweh is the tree of life, providing us his fruit. This word is his fruit, and us returning to the laws of Yahweh's is what we need for our healing, but the healing of all nations.
Absolutely. Exactly, for all nations. So it is Yahweh came to us first to resurrect us and for us to be his will in action. And it shall come to pass that all nations will come to us to learn of Yahweh and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, the ingathering. So that being a fact, our duty is not to go to all nations. Scripture said they were going to come to us. So our duty is to prepare. Preparation for rulership.
Yes, sir.
Preparing for this rulership that Yahweh has resurrected us to achieve.
And you know, it's good that we're in this conversation, because Yahweh ben Yahweh also mentioned that keeping his high holy days, the Feast of Tabernacle, has a seasonal representation and a historical meaning. And the seasonal thing is, we tend to get at this point, and now that we've concluded our feast season, we don't start preparing and making ready for the next season. Well, the exact opposite is true. You know, it is a time of rest, and we do take time to rest post our feast, but we also prepare ourselves. We get ready, whereas the rest of the world is doing other things at this time of year.
Right.
Today in particular, we are building our storehouses, restoring and rejuvenating, getting ourselves ready for the next harvest season, and the planting. Well, first the planting season, then the harvest season.
Right.
So all of these things have representation towards us actually, you know, in our relationship to the work that we do and how we actually govern ourselves.
And if you notice, it's in alignment with the heavens, with the cosmos, with the seasons, with nature, as they say. You know, it's in alignment with Yahweh's will for creation, the universe. You know, our Passover is at the beginning of the year on this planet, you know, and our first harvest is another festival when we bring in our first harvest, and then of course the end gathering is when we bring in our last harvest, and these things are all designed to make us rich.
It sounds like the process for production to
make us rich.
And here we are now in a time of year that everybody's thinking about spending their resources that someone else is capitalizing for things that they probably won't use
and don't need.
But we're talking about and having a different conversation around being production, and how keeping the feast is a representation of us building wealth and building an inheritance for our children. Now we are at that time.
We are. And last thing I want to say before we open up the call is that, you know, we have to trust in Yahweh, because Yahweh ben Yahweh taught us about how Yahweh had thrown an insurmountable problem right in front of you. and then give you the solution and the answer to overcome it, and to keep moving forward, period. So you can't allow that to sway you, that you have to turn to other gods, gods of government, gods of science, gods of housing authorities, and gods of
shoes and
yeah,
vehicles and
Nikes
and things,
and vices. But then we're moving on. We will open up the call because it is that time, and we want to invite our family to join our conversation on this day, this hollow day for most of the people of the planet, but it is an enlightening day to those of us who choose to be here on the unfolding light as we unfold this light. And we invite you to unfold it with us.
Praise Yahweh. If you are on the Zoom app, all you have to do is press your microphone button to get yourself unmuted. And if you're dialed in, all you have to do is press *6. And for our family out there on Zoom and Yahweh Radio, we thank Yahweh for you being present, and you'll have to join us on Zoom to get on the conversation. We do have a caller with their line unmuted. Caller with your line unmuted, you are now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom, family. This is Nair in Denver.
Praise Yahweh.
It was, it was a lot in that excerpt from Yahweh. Yahweh, two things I want to bring up in there. The first one, what he emphasized on was he was not concerned with Old Jerusalem. And I'm pretty sure all of my brothers and sisters have encountered others that's all they ever talk about and what they want to go back to excessively, not trying to even think of the thought of forward thinking of establishing the new Jerusalem with our new people. Everything to that particular type of person is, let's go back to the old Jerusalem. And we're not concerned about that. We're here to establish now. We could talk about the past forever, but we're here to pave a new future. Secondly, what he mentioned was how Yahweh would give you an obstacle and then show you a way through it, make a path for you. And in the reality we live in, this is almost preordained. It's almost already set. If you decide that you want to become an expert at anything, you have to go through the training, you have to go through the discipline, you will hit a glass ceiling, and you have to find your way to break beyond that point to become an expert in that field. And if you were looking to become rich and wealthy and get compensated, that's even more learning. And so those obstacles are already there for us. And because we are Yahweh's, we tend to gravitate towards things that can make us wealthy and richer when we follow the laws, as he said in his excerpt. A prime example of it is that I'm pretty sure we all experience when we talk to someone, and let's say you have an idea. Let's say it's a business, any type of business, and you're having excitement telling someone about it, and they just can't see it. They just don't understand what you're talking about, and they're just there saying, yeah, right. And that's an example of how Yahweh is showing you, a follower of Yahweh, something, and the other person just is not in their spectrum. It's because they're still going to be stuck in a mindset that is going to keep them from reaching the heights that a Yahweh can reach. But that's all I wanted to expound on. I'm always grateful for these unfolding light calls. Shalom.
Praise Yahweh. I thank Yahweh for you. I thank Yahweh for your wisdom and your insight. And I thank Yahweh for all of our wisdom and insight that can see. It's time to see. And that means to perceive the world, will, and the works of Yahweh. So praise Yahweh, Todah.
And he made a really critical point about how we can be clouded by our own perspective, where we can't see the will of Yahweh. That is just a really critical point, that we get Yahweh Ben Yahweh said he's not concerned about old Jerusalem,
Right.
but we see example after example after example of individuals wanting to uphold old Jerusalem. And Yahweh Ben Yahweh on many times told us that greater works we shall do, and New Jerusalem is what we should be putting our mind and our hearts on.
Absolutely, absolutely. I even have an uncle who made a pilgrimage and lived in old Jerusalem or over there in the land of Israel for years and years. And then he migrated back to the United States, because it wasn't about old Jerusalem. It's about New Jerusalem.
Yes,
Praise
sir.
Yahweh. We do have another caller.
We do. Caller with your line unmuted. You are now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Praise Yahweh. How you doing, family? This is your brother Gabriel Israel out of San Antonio, Texas.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. I wanted to touch on what Brother Lude had said earlier, because that term nigger wasn't initially made for us. It was initially made for them. And you can see that in the definition. It speaks to an ethnic people. And the definition of an ethnic people means a minority in a bigger society, which Abba has made very clear to us that they are the minority, but they let us to believe that we are. So I just wanted to add that to Brother Lou's point. But again, I'm glad that we are also talking about the New Jerusalem, because I've had this conversation with a brother that, he's not on the call, hasn't been on the call for a while, but we had this conversation about New Jerusalem, and he is this really deep hate for America, and he ties it to the landmass. And I said the sins of America are the issue. It's not the landmass. Yahweh created the landmass perfectly. The landmass has no issue. It's the people that took over the landmass. So, and he was just really adamant about Selah and where we were going after the destruction of America. And I'm glad that we're talking about it, because the destruction of America is very clear to be a spiritual thing and not a physical thing. One rock on top of another is not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's a mind thing. So having a heart adamant is stone as opposed to a heart of flesh, one stone on top of another. There's many ways to interpret this in a spiritual way, but I'm glad that we're talking about it. The conversation is open so that people can understand. Praise Yahweh. Thank you for letting me share. Neho.
Praise Yahweh, brother Neho. I thank Yahweh for you and your wisdom. And you're absolutely right. We have to begin to understand that it's not about our own will and our own desires. It's about the will of Yahweh. Because it was about the will of my own desire, then I would have left this country years ago. I'd have been out of here. Why do we want to stay in the land of our oppression? And they oppress us. But see, Yahweh said we're going to inherit cities that we didn't build. And if you notice what's going on right now, there's a whole lot of things being built without the so-called black man. You got immigrants and Mexicans and different people that is getting a whole lot of contracts and building all kinds of subdevelopments. And that's okay. I'm glad for them. This is the land that they were kicked out of. They were destroyed out of, so I'm not against them getting any wealth in this land. But this prophecy says that we will inherit cities that we didn't build. Now, we know we built America. We built everything that is America was built on our backs. And it was built wickedly, and it has to go. Everything, every system, and this is spiritual. This ain't physical. We're not finna tear down and burn buildings and tear down skyscrapers. Now, we may tear down statues, but that's different. Them statues are coming down anyway. White supremacist statue. But anyway, back to the point. It's not for us to do destruction. It's up to us to build communities and build society, build structures, righteous government, theocratic government. That's why Yahweh gave us the law. That's why the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh came and restored to us the law, statute, judgments, and commandments of Yahweh. Building society and community based on that will make it perpetual.
Right.
And it'll be no sorrow with that. And it won't matter that their systems left or abruptly ended. It won't matter, because the righteous systems, all sorts of wealth come from the land. Wherever you are, you can survive with land, with a backyard, with buckets in your pantry. You can survive if you know how to survive. And the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh taught us how to do that. But then again, we can build the civilizations right after the collapse of whatever is collapsing. Right after that, during that, we can build it. Yahweh ben Yahweh, the most honorable, built a microcosmic nation in the midst of the 80s when it was just terrible Reaganomics. Reagan was the president. It was just terrible for Black folks, and Black folks was just, oh man, it was a terrible time. I lived through it for Black folks. And he built a nation of righteous people. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. And a critical element to this process is the process of self-governance. Yahweh told us to subject your spirit and rule it, and getting into practice of keeping the law means you have to resist those things. There are things that come around you that you might want to purchase. You might want to spend your money on, or you might want to eat, or you might
that commercial make you hungry and want to go get something, huh?
But the work begins with self-governance. Being moral and ethical means getting into a good practice of subjecting your spirit from doing some of these things that are really harmful to yourself, harmful to your family, harmful to your nation and your community. I mean, eating bad really has a multi-layered harmful effect on our world. People just don't understand it, but it does.
Absolutely, absolutely. Praise Yahweh. And when you think about, our plight in America, coming from niggers, Negroes, and niggers to the sons of Yahweh and daughters of Yahweh, it's a journey. It's been a journey with twists and turns. Sometimes we get lose focus of that light, that shine, that physical light that came here and shine. Well, it's our duty here to unfold in light that we never lose sight of that physical light that came to us and gave us the wisdom of Yahweh and reconciled us and redeemed us and resurrected us to the will of Yahweh, the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh. And that's why we call him the most honorable, because I can't see honoring anybody else more than the one who resurrected my soul, my spirit, back into the land of the living. We were dead. We were dead to the knowledge of ourselves. We were dead to the knowledge of our God. We were dead to the knowledge of old Jerusalem, let alone New Jerusalem. We were dead to ourselves. And the EL in us, they thought they had extinguished that light. But see, they can't extinguish the EL inside us. All it took was Yahweh to send forth his son to spark that light that was in it, turn it back on. And now it's up to us. Are we going to choose you this day to be trust everything that the devil is putting down, everything that he's saying, that his wicked, fearful tactic to scare you into submission? Or are we going to be faithful unto death in Yahweh? We're going to be faithful. They can put us in the fiery furnace. We know what happens when they put us in the fiery furnace. It is one like unto the Son of Man that's in there fanning the flames. We don't have to worry about it. But if you fear going in and you submit, then that means that you don't believe Yahweh can protect you. Well, I can tell you right now, Yahweh can protect you. He has protected us. He's destroyed whole armies. He's destroyed the whole world with a flood and protected the ones that he decided to protect.
Yes, sir. Yes,
There's
sir.
so much evidence of us going into battle and not having one casualty. Can you imagine going into battle without one casualty? When we're faithful to Yahweh and his will, that's how we go into battle. in the past, not a spiritual battle. It's all about the war of Armageddon that takes place in your mind. Are you going to go to them holiday dinners and eat all that filth and stuff because it's the
just
holiday?
one slice of red velvet cake?
Well, one's
I'm just kidding.
Hey, those temptations are all, we face those temptations. So, you have to do what you have to do.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise
We
Yahweh.
invite you, family, to join in this conversation with us. If you are on the Zoom app, all you have to do is unmute yourself with the microphone there. I'm sure Yahweh Ben Yahweh said something in this conversation that inspired you. We do have a call with their hand raised.
Praise Yahweh.
We're going to ask this caller to unmute and let us know who we have on the line. Caller, with your line unmuted, welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Praise Yahweh, Dr. Lud, Sister Tamar. This is Brother Yafo Said calling from New Orleans. And actually, I just kind of wanted to point out some teaching that Yahweh taught in the Valley of Dry Bones. Ezekiel chapter 37 says that, and Yahweh described us in that chapter as being dry bones, that our minds weren't coming together. And he also paralleled it with Revelation chapter 11, verse 8 and 9. And I like to read that. And it says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also the Lord Yahweh Ben Yahweh was crucified. He paralyzed that with America, Sodom and Egypt. And it goes on to say, verse 9, and they of the people and kindred and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And certainly that's how they controlled us, by not keeping the knowledge of who we are as a people, that we are, truly the tribe of Israel, tribe of Judah here in America. And they said, and it goes on to say that, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, like Merry Christmas. Shall not send their gifts and send gifts one to another, because these two prophets, and Yahweh Ben Yahweh parallel the two prophets as being him and the tribe of Judah, the lost sheep of the house of Israel here in America. Because we were tormenting them that dwelled on the earth. So that was quite a revelation to me when I first read that, because we are truly disconnected one from another here in America, not knowing who we are as a people, and that's how they rule over us. But once Yahweh Ben Yahweh enters your mind, and you start taking on the mind of Yahweh, it brings on a transformation in your life, brothers and sisters. I just kind of want to point that out, and praise Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom. Love you, bro.
Well, praise Yahweh. I thank Yahweh for that wisdom, because when you think about what he was just saying, is that our disconnection gives them the rulership, and that's so powerful, because they can't rule over us united. They cannot. It cannot happen if we all 60, 70 million black folks in America were united. So-called black folks, they cannot rule over us and oppress us, the minority. But we do have another caller.
Yes, we did. We had a call with their line unmuted. Call with your line unmuted. You're now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Dr. Lou, Sister Tamar.
Praise Yahweh.
Brother Kezion Menashe. Wow, what a teaching that we had today, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm really just sitting back enjoying listening to my brothers and sisters and their responses. And it's kind of like it's verifying the fact that Yahweh Ben Yahweh's coming was not in vain. The destruction of America is deep. It's not just, of course, literal. it's spiritual, you know, it's intellectual. And the fact that we can have the conversation that we have in the day, America is being destroyed. It's a concept that is like today, in fact, this day, this very day, used to mean something completely different to all of us. And yet, the destruction of America, because of Yahweh ben Yahweh's coming, his effort, his teaching, and what is transpiring as a result of all of that, has changed the world for us. Okay, we live in a different world now. You know, heaven is different from the world that we used to live in. And for this entire planet, there was a time when we were just consumers only. We were consumed with consuming, you know, and people used that against us to oppress us and to suppress us. And now, you know, we're free from that. And many, many others are also free from that mentality. It's like the Matrix, you know, and what's happening now is only a precept to what is about to happen because of these phenomenal this phenomenal effort that Yahweh ben Yahweh put in, and now that we're putting in, and the work that's being done. And so this great work, the unfolding light, is a part of something much bigger than what it appears. And it's happening right now. We're in the midst of the greatest, the mightiest redemption in the history of mankind. You know, when Judah actually awakens to the fact that Yahweh is guiding us into absolute, total rulership of not just the planet, but, you know, period, of ourselves and each other. And that the whole planet is going to receive that. You can see that all nations are mourning right now. They're mourning about their governments. They're mourning about their money, and they're mourning about their happiness. Everybody's sick. They've turned the world into drug addicts. You know, their destruction is upon them. All of that is part of the prophecy. But you know what's interesting is we are not. That's not our job. We're not doomsday people. We're not. You know, we're the ones who we get our act together and we impact the world as a result of Yahweh and Yahweh's teachings in a way that nobody else can. We don't embrace the hate because it's all about the love. Yahweh is love. You know, we don't embrace the destruction. It's all about the construction. It's all about the building now of the kingdom of Yahweh. And what Yahweh and Yahweh has given us, y'all, he didn't give it to us because we're nice people. He gave it to us because we're the next leg of this race. And it's time for us to get up and run it together as a family. That's the only way you're going to survive, first of all. But beyond that, it is the plan of the Most High, Yahweh. It's the master plan. And it's time for us to come together and let go of everything that has separated us, that has divided us, that's caused us to not work together. And now it's our time to come together as family and be one and embrace the love of Yahweh and move in accord with his divine plan. So I just wanted to say thank you for being committed and dedicated to his cause. And to every Saturday morning, I know that it's going down. And I really appreciate your effort, Dr. Lou, Sister Tamar. So family, resist the urge to partake in her wickedness. It's time to come out of her, and it's time to come into him. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. It is definitely truly time, and I thank Yahweh for your wisdom, brother. I thank Yahweh for all of our family who are on this righteous tip that it's not about the hate. It ain't about standing around yelling about how Yahweh is finna destroy people. You get destroyed with them because you yelling at them about what's about to happen. No, our job is to build, not to show the world that they're about to be destroyed. That's not our purpose. I mean, Yahweh told them that for 6,000 years that he was going to destroy them.
And one comment that about brother Kezium's comment that I want to lift out that stood out for me is that these aren't his words, but it made me consider how Yahweh, the God of creation, prescribes high holy days that are aligned with production. And the rulers of darkness in high places have crafted these hollow days based off of consumption. So what a stark contrast of lifestyle.
Diametrically opposed. Satan is diametrically opposed.
Our high holy days are aligned with the laws of production. And these hollow days are based off of you consumption,
straight up consumption, and then they have one every month out of the year. They have something for you to consume that is almost like it's a must. You're compelled to do it, and if you don't do it, there'll be dire consequences, which there really won't be dire consequences, but you tell the people, don't celebrate Christmas this year, and see what kind of consequences, what kind of energy you get back from telling, don't do that this year. What? Well, you were telling me how poverty stricken you are and how, don't do it. And you'll see the result of that conversation. I'm not urging you to do that. Y'all know the result. Y'all don't have to do that. Sure, y'all been there, done that. So, well, we're at the end of this episode of The Unfolding Light. And
I think the conclusion of that series that we were running, which was the End Gathering, or was there?
I'm not sure if that's the end, but
okay.
if it is, we will have another series for next week. But if not, we have more in this series next week, because we will be back. And of course, we're moving toward the beginning of the Gregorian calendar year, which is significant to a lot of people because they've been taught to make resolutions that they can't possibly keep. Well, today, the beginning of this calendar year, in any day, make a choice. Choose Yahweh, choose his righteousness, choose to carry out his will in you, and his will for you is totally different from what the devil is talking about. Totally on the other side of the whole world as it relates to that. Don't mold yourself into that. Don't pine away on what they're talking about with the cares of the world. The cares of the world is of no concern to Yahweh's children because we're not of this world. And we're doing our best to study to show ourselves approved to lead this world and to be in the world with Yahweh. And we're not talking about physically now. We're talking about spiritually and mentally. Sister, final thoughts?
I think that was a great concluding thought, my brother. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Until next week, when the Unfolding Light will be back with another message for us to unfold. I invite y'all to stand and face the east as we close out this episode with a prayer to our Heavenly Father Yahweh, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Makuterka, Yiradze Rezonka, Kim Vashemayim, Kim Ba'aretz, El Lechem Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayam, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimo Sasol King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiem Lanu, Veal Tebienu, Lade Nisayam, King Kal Senu, Mihara, Kilaka, Hamambaha, Veha Gibera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And always remember, Yahweh loves you, Yahweh Ben Yahweh loves you, and so does the nation of Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Thank you for joining The Unfolding Light, presented by the Nation of Yahweh. If you have any comments or questions, please email us at thenationofyahweh@gmail.com. Follow us online at theunfoldinglight.com. YahWeh.blogspot.com and on our Facebook page at The Nation of Yahweh. That's The Nation of YAHWEH. Also, do remember to pay Yahweh and yourself first and don't touch it, as instructed by the Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. You can send your tithes, donations, and offerings to the Nation of Yahweh at P.O. Box 555-115, Orlando, Florida 32855, and be blessed continually according to Malachi chapter 3 verse 10. Praise Yahweh, and please join us next Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next installment of The Unfolding Light. Shalom, shalom.
I feel like I'm light as a feather, 'cause my mind has been purified so much better. No more crying, well, no more would I have to keep on lying, 'cause it's smooth sailing. Oh yeah, in Yahweh. I wanna tell you something. No more worrying, no more worrying. 'Cause you see, this time I got a peace of mind. 'Cause it's smooth sailing, in Yahweh. Gotta tell you something. You see, it's a blessing to be living on the earth today, in the time when the Son of God is here. So it's a blessing to know that He is the Son of God, that He's here to rid the earth of all of this killing and stealing and all of this drugs and all these crazy things that's going on today. You know what I'm saying? No more a word about losing out the mind, 'cause you see, God, Yahweh is here now, and there is no doubt that it's smooth sailing. Oh yeah, in Yahweh. Wanna tell you something. This time I'm gonna live a good life, and all I got to do is keep on being nice. No longer can people treat me cold as ice, 'cause my whole life depends on keeping God at life. No more will I be a helpless child, 'cause you see, God, Yahweh is gonna be here for a long, 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 long while. Smooth sailing in Yahweh. One more thing to tell. No longer can the people put me down, 'cause the glory of Yahweh has put my feet way up off the ground. Smooth sailing, oh yeah, in Yahweh. Once again, I'd like to testify to you that Yahweh really is God, and that it's a blessing to be here in the time when you get to see God put the devil down on his knees. I remember all the prophets wanted to be here at this time because they knew it was going to be a great, great, wonderful day. I want to tell you that it's smooth sailing, well, in Yahweh. Well, I want to testify to the whole wide world that I sure enough love you, Yahweh. Well, alright, I want to tell you that it's smooth sailing, early in the morning, late in the evening, to the midnight hour. Smooth sailing, oh yeah, in Yahweh. I want to tell you that it's smooth.